welcome back to the Scrappy Celebration Sew Along. We are in week 6, and today for week 6 we're going to do blocks I and J. This is a light week. The first one, I, is only 3 blocks, and they are super simple. You have 2 4-patch, and then you will have some solid pieces here of your lights. No construction for these. So you can use any of your low volume light white backgrounds. In my case, mine will just be my white on white that I've been using for my background. And then also for these squares as well. So cut these squares out according to the measurements in the pattern and sew them together thus and so. You will sew your 2 pieces together here, and then make a seam here. And then once you get those 2 done, then you just make a seam here and a seam here. And then finally you will seam together these 2 rows right here. And I've not mentioned it before, but these little arrows, if you're not familiar with those, that is telling you how to press your seams. If you have an arrow going this way and this way, that means you open the seam. Same here, once you get these together in a long seam, you have a pressing arrow going this way and this way. So, you know, sometimes it's only on one side. It only points one way, which means you put your whole seam allowance to one side and press it to that direction. So if that's not something you're familiar with, that's what those little arrows are for. Now, if we look at our overall diagram, you see that our 4-patch I blocks go here, here, and here. So now you're starting to get, by using these dark pinks or reds, you're starting to get that chain effect down through there. So you want to make sure your blocks that you've already constructed are going to form that chain. It's pretty easy to do. If you just look at the directions, it tells you what colors to use, and it should all work out. So since I have these 3 dark colors, the 2 reds and then the dark pink, I'm going to use one. I'm going to make all of these the same. One out of this, one out of this, one out of this. And you feel free to mix those up if you want to. There's no rule about it. You can take all of your dark pinks and reds and just mix those up, but inside the same block if you want to. I'm just going to do less brain work and just make my block all of one. So there's just 3. I'm going to use these 3, and I'll have 3 blocks that look like these 3 patterns right here. So let me go ahead and cut those out, and I'll show you how they go together. Here's how it goes together. Here are my red small squares for my 4 patches. So I'll be putting those together side to side, and then lengthwise here. Get those 2 done. Add these 2 together, and then this row to this row. Very, very simple. Now, I do want to show you some options. Here's where I have actually used the same print as I was planning on doing. But you could also interchange some of your colors, some of your prints that are red or dark pink. So it could look like that. Or it could even, you know, I could throw in, let's throw in, just to be playing, let's just play with these and put them like that. That would be cute too. I'm not sure what I'm going to do now. I'm kind of liking the mixed up ones too. You could also just kind of, since there's, you know, a row of them going down through here, you could just use all of them. I don't know. You just play around until you get it the way you want it. There we have one on each corner that's the same. So, I'm not sure. You just have to wait and see what I do. Okay, so I changed my mind. I did every other 2 different colors. And then I'm going to do these 4 together. And then I'm going to do these 4 together. So it's going to get a better mix-up. I think that's good in the spirit of scrappiness, is to mix those up instead of just making them all the same. But it's your quilt. You do what you want to do. And yours will probably look different than mine also by the fact that you're going to have a lot of different low volume light background prints here that you've interchanged. They're going to be a much more colorful block than mine, since I'm using the white on white. So I thought maybe I should just do this kind of a mashup. So let's go on to the J block. The J block is a very simple 9-patch block, and you will find them in the 3rd row, the 4th row, the 5th row, the 6th row, the 7th row, the 8th row. Basically every row except the first 2 rows. So they are blue and yellow, as you can see. And I've got these are all of my blues and yellows. I am going to use all of them. The center block is yellow, and I have 5 different ones. I don't know if you all noticed, but last week I sneaked in this other yellow that I didn't have in my stack before. I just felt like I needed one more variation of yellow in last week's blocks, since they were so dense with yellow. These are the 4 blues that I've been using. I'm going to use all of them either separately or collectively in these blocks. I'm not sure, because it's an even number, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do, like, you know, a print here and here and then a different print here and here. I might, I don't know. Either way, I'm probably going to have to, well, I know that I will have to repeat on these. So I may just do all the corners the same. Famous last words, right? Isn't that what I say on every block? I'm going to do them the same. And then I ended up changing them up or mixing them up. So we'll just have to wait and see what I do. But I have 5 of these, so I'm going to have to repeat one of these for the centers. And then we'll just see what I do with my blues. Let me go ahead and cut one out so you can see how it goes together. Alright, so the pattern tells us to cut all of these blocks the same size. So do that. You'll have 4 blue, 1 yellow, and 4 of your light background or white on white like I have. And then just put them together side by side. Here, 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 and here. You'll have 3 rows. Pay attention to your arrows as to how you press these. They appear to be pressed open everywhere. So unlike last week when I told you to do 4 at a time, can't really do that when you're working with a 9-patch. You have to do a row, and a row. So once you get your 3 rows, then you're going to just connect the 3 rows to get your 9-patch. So let me sew that up and I will show you what it looks like. Before I sew this completely together, I want to show you that I chain piece these 2 sections, and then I'll come back and chain piece onto these 3 sections again, and then I'll put my rows together. Here we go, all together. I made the wrong size. I was looking to see if it was going to come out to my 9.5 inch square. It's only 7. So I made the wrong size. These are supposed to be bigger than this. But the idea is the same. I'll just keep this in my orphan block box. And, you know, everything's the same no matter what size you use. As long as all your squares are the same size, it will turn out to be a perfect 9-patch. It seemed like there was something else. Oh, you don't need to use scant with this. Scant 1/4 inch, just use your full 1/4 inch. And have you been using your pins? Have you been using some of the tools that I've mentioned on the other episodes? Are they helping you? Let me know in the comments. I hope so. I'm going to go ahead and cut these out to the right size now and get busy and make the rest of these. Stay tuned till the end and you will see a full little show of all my blocks, and then we'll be ready for week 7. So this week is kind of a good week to catch up a little bit. These don't take very long. Neither one, I or J, take very long at all. So if you're a little bit behind, this might be the week that you can catch up some. And then we'll have one more week that is the final 3 blocks. So, you know, we'll have quite a bit to do next week. And then the following week, we're putting our rows together. So this is kind of like your last opportunity to catch up if you do want to stay on the schedule that I have. Otherwise, just do these in your leisure and you'll get it done eventually. And the videos are always there for you to watch if you need help. All right, let me get the rest of my blocks together.